12 times the British royals were accused of favoritism in shocking ways. The British monarchy is one of the oldest and most revered institutions in the world, but it is not without its scandals and controversies. In this video, we expose 12 times the British royals were accused of favoritism in shocking ways. Number 1. Late Queen Elizabeth II and King Charles III. Late Queen Elizabeth II clearly showed favoritism toward many of her children, but when it came to King Charles III, it was crystal clear. After ruling for 6 whole decades in 2014, she decided it was time to take a step back and pass on some royal duties to the next in line to the throne. It was a change in how things were typically done in the royal family, reflecting the long-known truth, her favoritism towards King Charles III. The late queen began to ease off her public duties for several years, even though there were no major health issues. It was only natural that the royal setup would reflect the reality of who was really in charge. Rather than the late queen and King Charles having separate public relation teams, the palace's influential PR operation was merged into one. Number 2. Prince William and Prince Harry. The royal news has frequently buzzed with reports about late Queen Elizabeth II and King Charles showing favoritism towards Prince William, the future king, over his younger brother, Prince Harry. The late queen's alleged favoritism took center stage in a Channel 5 documentary called Prince Harry, the Troubled Prince, featuring insights from royal author Angela Levin and journalist Richard Kay. According to Mr. K, the Queen Mother made sure Prince William always sat in a prime seat next to her, leaving Harry out. King Charles agreed with Diana that the boys should share equally in their early years. But behind closed doors, senior royals were apparently focused on Prince William, with little regard for Prince Harry's future, as Prince William is the future of the throne. That's why the late Queen Elizabeth personally gave Prince William lessons in kingship while he was at Eton, and she was at Windsor Castle. Moreover, the recent revelation that King Charles III was playing favorites with Prince William has put the spotlight on the Duke of Sussex's struggles. Number 3. Prince Andrew's alleged favoritism. While his older brother, King Charles, was the first in line for the throne, Prince Andrew captured the late Queen's heart. As late Princess Diana's butler, Paul Burrell, revealed in the Royal Family at War documentary, Andrew has always been the late Queen's favorite, and she sees no wrong in him. However, known in his younger days as Britain's playboy prince and a hero of the Falklands War, Prince Andrew's association with Epstein has caused quite the tumble from grace. When Virginia Joffrey filed a court case against him, the late Queen took swift action, stripping him of his titles and patronages. Number 4. Meghan Markle's claims of differential treatment. Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, opened up about feeling like she didn't have the same protocol within the royal family as others, hinting at a kind of negative favoritism in her and Prince Harry's interview with Oprah Winfrey. Reports suggest that the Duchess of Sussex wrote to King Charles III about a royal member making questionable comments about their future son's skin tone, which caused a lot of media coverage and claims about racism within the monarchy. Number 5. Prince William and his children. Prince William does his best to treat all 3 of his kids fairly, but it looks like he's got a soft spot for one of them. Body language expert Judy James clarified William has a keen eye on George, his future heir. She also mentioned that the prince mentors George for his role, bonding over sports like football, but always makes sure to treat George, Charlotte, and Louis equally. He and the Princess of Wales, Princess Catherine, help kids with schoolwork and take them out for special adventures. They even took Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis to Wimbledon. And Prince William just recently had some solo time with Prince George at a sports event. Number 6. Princess Diana and the royal family. During those Christmas get-togethers at Sandringham, late Princess Diana confided in royal expert Richard Kay, admitting she felt like an outsider, especially when it came to the late Queen. Christmas get-together at Sandringham wasn't precisely a jolly holiday. Late Princess Diana spilled her heart out to author Andrew Morton, calling the whole event terrifying and so disappointing. But despite the awkward tension and strange jokes, late Princess Diana battled through the dinners for her son's sake. Number 7. Queen Victoria and her children. Late Queen Victoria and late King Albert pinned their hopes on their eldest son, King Edward VII, to become the ideal monarch. They practically prayed that little birdie would grow up to be the image of his dear old dad in every way. However, after late King Albert passed away, late Queen Victoria started seeing his son as a bit flighty, imprudent, and not the most responsible fellow. She even wrote to her eldest daughter about feeling a shudder when she looked at him. Moreover, late Queen Victoria wasn't a big fan of most babies, but she took a liking to late Princess Beatrice, whom she found quite charming. Late Princess Beatrice definitely had a closer bond with her mom compared to her other siblings. Number 8. Edward VIII and Wallace Simpson. Late King Edward VIII made waves with his affection for Wallace Simpson, an American socialite who was in the middle of divorcing her second husband when things heated up between her and late King Edward VIII, leading to late King Edward's dramatic abdication. Late King Edward tried to downplay their relationship with his dad, late King George V. He insisted they weren't intimate and that calling her his mistress was wrong. So when he ditched the throne to marry Wallace, the whole country was in shock, and the government, his brother, and the public were not too thrilled with this choice. Number 9. The treatment of outsiders. When Meghan Markle joined the Royal Christmas at Sandringham Estate in 2017 before marrying Prince Henry, breaking the tradition that royal partners only show up after saying "I do." Meghan got a pass on this because she could trace her roots all the way back to King Edward III through her dad. So she became the first royal partner to join in the Christmas party at Sandringham before tying the knot. Meanwhile, Princess Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and Zara Tindall followed the usual route, waiting until they said their vows to Prince William and Mike Tindall before diving in the holiday celebrations. Number 10. King George V and his daughters. Late Princess Margaret was late King George VI and late Queen Mother's younger daughter, and late Queen Elizabeth II's younger sister. Late King George had a soft spot for late Princess Margaret, calling late Queen Elizabeth his pride and Princess Margaret his joy. Now, if the late Queen felt a bit miffed about his favoritism, she sure didn't let it on. And while the late Queen wished for the freedom her sister had, late Princess Margaret was never green-eyed about her sister's new role, happy marriage, and growing family. Moreover, the late Queen Elizabeth was all for having her sister around to lighten the load socially. There's a classic line from those days, "Oh, Margot, oh, it's so much easier when Margaret's there." Everybody laughs at what Margaret says, the late Queen would say. Number 11. Late Queen Elizabeth's favorite grandchild. Lady Louise Windsor, the oldest child of Prince Edward and Sophie, is known to be the favorite grandchild of the late Queen Elizabeth II. A royal source spilled the beans to The Sun in 2019, saying Lady Louise was the late Queen's favorite grandchild. The Queen adores seeing Louise and James having a blast at Balmoral. She's really taken a shine to Louise. She's her top pick, closely followed by James. Lady Louise was also close with her grandpa. When the late Prince Philip passed on, he left her his most cherished possession, his dark green carriage. It looked like they shared a love for carriage riding, and she's been keeping their two ponies on their toes at Windsor Castle ever since. Number 12. Queen Elizabeth II and Sophie, Countess of Wessex. Late Queen Elizabeth II and Sophie, Countess of Wessex, had a really tight bond, and Sophie took on more and more royal duties, which got people chatting about how highly the late Queen thought of her daughter-in-law. She even called the late Queen Mama and leaned on her for support after late Prince Philip passed away. Sophie was seen as a real asset to the royals, as she and the late Queen were very close. And that's a wrap on these intriguing glimpses into royal favoritism. What's your take on these revelations? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating content. Until next time.